Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Greg, and doing a little bit different of a video today. I shot this video out at in Coon Rapids at Wintercrest disc golf course. Really popular course in your area, just a park style course, and got out there with some friends and we recorded our round. I don't think I got every single shot of every single person, but I got a lot of them. So just want to kind of talk through some of these shots, like that bad putt, for example, and we'll see how it goes. So on to hole 2 here, and I thought I aced this hole. Didn't mean to spoil it, but man, that was a dirty little kick out. This is my buddy Steve, hidden first available, Pashia. She goes through every tree gap ever and never hits any of them, so that's her game. Good up shot for Steve, and I'm cleaning up that birdie that should have been an ace.
I am shocked.
I gave Jack a lot of crap for throwing a forehand on this hole. It is not a forehand hole. He's like, I'm trying to learn forehands better, but it's not a forehand hole. The hole kind of plays just like straight back with a baby fade. It's kind of hard to access because of the low ceiling. And Pashia threw one of the better shots, so I hit early. Tried to give it a little run. Putting felt good today, so was pretty aggressive giving things runs. This is hole 4. Pretty tight gap. The basket's kind of right back where Jack was going, maybe another 30 feet. I've been throwing this M4 really great lately. It flies like a buzz, but without the fade of a buzz, so a little straighter, and I'm really enjoying the M4 lately. It's kind of the first disc from Prodigy to make it in the bag for an extended period of time. That was a great upshot from Pashia there. Here's another putt that, man, my C2 putts were missing a little bit low to start this round. And Jack is not going to be happy with that. This is probably one of my least favorite holes on the course. Pick a side and hope to get lucky through a gap. They are really tight gaps. I usually don't like this left side because if you hit a tree and kick left, there's an OB fence. But I feel like it's also the side where you can actually get a chance at getting a birdie. Here's Steve's upshot. Jack actually threw an incredible upshot there. That could have been a bogey easy from that spot. And C2 putt. Nothing gets my game going like a circle 2 putt. And a little slip on that front foot. Shanked my drive.
I love that.
This is another one of those holes that's not very far, but the gap, you just feel like you have to pick a gap and then just pray that you make it. They're so tight. I think Steve got a notification on his watch mid-swing. That's why he was looking at his watch. You can't really see me here, but I throw a scuba with his own OS, and you can see it flash the basket. It was actually a pretty good scramble. I'll get out of there with a par. This next hole, this was my last time throwing a buzz on this hole because it went too long again. So I came and played a couple days later, and I threw a Jawbreaker zone OS or zone, just regular zone, and it was much better line, a little shorter and a little further left. So that's my play now. Good shot.
It's either perfect.
This hole plays like 310 maybe. I think it's only like 270, but it's uphill and you want a little fade left. Another C2 look there for me.
Good bird.
This hole, I apologize, but terrible camera angle. The basket, there's two different spots, and sometimes you play straight ahead. That's kind of why I set it up, and then we realized the basket was down to the right. So you won't really see much of our drives here. But once we get down this hill, you can see kind of where we ended up. This was a great snag from Jack. And I'll pick up another birdie there. This hole's tough. I don't know how to play it well. I tried to throw forehand on the left side gap. Jack threw it almost perfectly. So I faded out way right, which is the side you really don't want to be on. I don't know. I think I'm going to go back to just trying to play this for the 3 instead of trying to get all the way down there. I feel like the forehand gap is the gap. Left side forehand gap can potentially get you all the way further down. That's an incredible roller by Steve.
That worked.
But if you fade out earlier, hit something and you're on the right side, you are in trouble. Like right here, I'm just ripping a tomahawk, hoping to get through as far as I can. And then Pashia shows me the line that I probably should have thrown. Just a beautiful turnover. She's pretty stoked about that.
Man, that was a good bid, though.
Aggressive bid. Didn't quite pick it up, but I don't know what Jack was doing on that hole, on that drive right there. Steve just overturned the basket's kind of just straight down that pathway and then fade left. In fact, watch my drive. The basket is right there. I'm under the basket.
I love that shape. There's a couple good stories in it.
For Jack's par, just comes up a little short.
That was brave.
And I just pick it up, drop it in. This one I find it best to play for the skip shot. Some people try to go really high. But I feel like the trees above kind of block you. Like Jack was trying to go too high, and then he pushed it too wide. And he's actually deep of where you want to be. And so Steve played the normal high route, and I feel like it almost always gets caught up. It doesn't make it over as far. So I like the low skip shot better. Another tap-in bird. This one, just make the gap and throw it out there. I think it plays like 270 to 300. I feel like getting out of this gap with a backhand is much more difficult than a forehand. Jack actually aced this hole like a month ago with a backhand, so I was kind of surprised he switched to forehand. I think he's just trying to work on the forehands this round. Solid putt. Steve came up short a couple times this round. And I missed right and got lucky it got caught. I hate this hole, especially when it's in the left position. You can see down in the fairway there's like a left gap and a right gap. And the right gap I feel like is very fair. The left gap, there's so many trees in the fairway that it doesn't make sense to try to play the fairway. So I just tried to throw really high and crash in and see how far in there I could get. And I pulled it a little wide, but I ended up actually with like a lane to scramble out. I think because I was in the thick woods, I didn't get all of my shots on this hole, but I'm pretty sure I saved par. This also has a really stupid basket. This is one of the more fun holes on the course. It's kind of a late flip turnover. We went with my really beaten Undertaker there. Jack played the safer route, which is just kind of overturn and crash that right side. You just don't want to be left. Like, if Pashia's, that little skip at the end is going to hurt. You'd rather be overturned on this one than you would be in the stuff on the left. It just gets really thick over there. Like, she's having to throw this, trying to pan this forehand out. Just makes it a tough get. I also was on the left side, but close enough that I could just throw a zone OS there. Steve tried to go roller and got hung up. Bam. That's the putt of the day to me. He was probably 65, 70 feet out. Just put it high, flat, let it glide right in. His C2 putts are coming along really well. Chains are overrated. This was a really poor forehand. I'm listening to see if I can hear it hit trees to try to figure out where it's at. Jack overturned his, so if you're throwing the forehand, you kind of want to throw it high and let it kind of skip down the hill. The backhand turnover works too, but you want to hit out this gap and turn over just like that. Yeah. I think Pashia will end up being kind of by the short basket, which it's in the long right now, but it was a really, really good shot.
Wow. You better make that.
This is another smash a tomahawk through and hope to get a look. And I think it actually put me circle's edge or C2. Yeah, circle's edge. And I just decided to airball right. Annoying. It's probably the most aceable hole on the course. Literally just straight ahead, 220 feet. Lots of people throw putters, or the high spike works too. But the bushes on the right side have grown a ton, so it makes that line a little more difficult. I actually thought I threw a really good line, and then when we get up there, I realized that I am way deep. This is also when we noticed that the wind was picking up, which makes the holes in the open tough. I try not to get mad at myself if I hit metal from C2, but it's hard to get mad when you feel like you should have made the putt. This hole 18, and it used to be just kind of 280 feet straight ahead, and they moved it back and made it a par 4, which is an incredible change. I was chomping at the bit to throw this shot, and then I threw it into the ground, which is a bummer. But yeah, Pashia.
That's great.
Yeah, it's probably like 30 feet further from where Pashia just threw. And I pulled mine wide. I'm pinned high, but just right side. We were all laughing at how tight this gap Reedy was trying to throw, and he got to play the right side and the left side on this hole.
That's a putt. Good job.
Smart play by Jack. This green really like slopes down behind the basket, so you definitely don't want to go long. And I hit the band on the baskets that don't have a band. This is actually my least favorite hole in the course. The big tree and the skinny tree ahead, you kind of just want to throw something really hard and hope to miss between them or just to the left of them and skip up the hill. This is the common miss, is just turning something a little too far right. And I think I need to put a new bear in my bag, because I've been throwing that bear most of the season, and I keep missing right with it. Like, it keeps flipping up just slightly too much.
Let's putt.
Thought this was kind of a fun angle. I typically am very bad at straddle and at uphill putts. That's kind of my putting weakness right now.
Good.
So I was glad to cash that one. This one's straight 300 something feet. I throw what is probably my worst shot of the day and get rewarded by making it through everything and actually skipping inside the circle. This is actually the route that you want to take. And Pashia tries to join me and gets caught up early. Huge putt. This was another like 65 footer. Thought Steve was about to go 2 for 2 on it. This is where I ended. And you know, when the course gives you a look, you should take it. This is our second to last hole. Honestly, a very similar shape, just kind of going uphill instead of downhill. I once again throw inside and get rewarded by not hitting anything. This is the exact shot you actually want to throw. It was a good line by Steve there. Pashia has been adding some serious distance this year. She's playing really good. She actually took down her division at Ledgestone this year, which was, we took a big group out there. It was a blast. That's like the 3rd or 4th low miss for Steve. This is the last hole in the course. Really fun. Just bomber. Just throw it off this top. Turn it over. Jack threw an Enigma. He ended up actually going long of the basket. And I decided to just throw a mid. I threw that M4 again. Tried to throw it straight. And Steve wasn't very happy that I threw a mid just outside circle. I think I was edge of circle off that drive. Steve trying to force something more stable over. Doesn't quite get over on it enough. It's hard to commit to the ante line just because there are trees on the right that you could miss into, and the safe miss is left. So I totally understand that force over kind of with a stable disc line. That's why I throw the mid, because I know I don't have to worry about it turning or fading much. I just kind of aim it towards the basket. And I thought I had that. Just some nubs kept me away from a birdie, which, you know, kept me a couple back of my best round out here. Anyways, that is Wintercrest in Coon Rapids in Minnesota. If you like, subscribe. And if you like this style of video, let me know. I'll put out more voiceover rounds for you guys to check out.